What's up, guys? Guns here. Got some thoughts. Oh, in this goofy ass brain of mine. Man, social media has been a trip lately. Um, I don't understand what's happening with our country. Uh, Man, I fully agree that there's something wrong. Things need to be done. People are yelling defund police, and a lot of people are instantly like, fuck that idea. And a lot of people are like, yeah, destroy the cops. And I'm like, defund police? Like, how dumb do you have to be to think defunding the police is a good idea? An overhaul of the police system? I'm all for it. I see pictures of a lot of these people on social media. Um, Motherfuckers look like someone would snap them in half like that. Defund police? I used to run with some really bad people, and let me tell you, those really bad people would love to see the police defunded, so they could run around and grab you by the throat and do whatever the fuck they want to you. Now, an overhaul of the police, I get it. I'm all for that. You can't just defund police and then rebuild something. Like, come on, man, let's be smart. Um, do we need to send a bunch of not properly trained, armed people with AR-15s to go deal with homeless issues and mental health issues and, plenty of issues? You know what? We could do better than that, I mean, I'm smart enough to think and to realize, okay, I love my police. Number one, I know we need them, but my mother needs them. What do police really do today? It's not like the movies back in the day where a burglar would be fucking running into a place and running out with a bag of money, and then a police is right there to stop him. Hey, stop, criminal. Haha, copper, you'll never catch me. That's not what it is now. What a police officer does is they investigate after the fact. They're hardly ever there to stop a crime. And they pull people over for fucking speeding infractions and not using their turn signals. But also just having the presence on the street is important. Yeah, man, police fuck killing people, man. Police aren't just killing black people, though. I forgot it was in Arizona or something. This thing that just happened with the cop, with his knee on the dude, killed him. Horrific. Fucking horrific. But I'm watching people online, and they're like, "This is the most horrible thing I've ever seen." Look, I saw a video where there was a dude at a white guy at a hotel party, and a cop pulls up with his AR, you know what I mean, in the hallway, and he's telling the guy, "Don't put your hands in the small of your back," and the guy's crying in a little hallway, and the guy's crawling, and he's like, "If you fall over, you fall on your face," and the guy's like, I don't know what to do, bah, 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 and they fucking gun the guy down. What we just saw was the most horrific thing we've ever seen. Like, I'm not minimizing it. It's not what I'm doing. It was horrible. Horrible. The news is using this right now. And I don't want to say the news. The news is part of a much larger conglomerate. A lot of people are using this kind of stuff right now. And you know what? I always said that there is absolutely no way that we're going to go into this election in the condition we were 6 months ago, 7 months ago. And the condition we were in 6, 7 months ago wasn't bad at all. And now everything's fucked. Coronavirus, they shut everything down. Where'd that come from? I don't know. I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theories. Now there's a new flu coming out of China. Some new flu. It's supposed to be like fucking swine flu or something. My daughter was crying yesterday, and I was holding her, and I'm like, I'm so sorry that you got to deal with this shit. I have no idea why adults can't fucking adult. And it's our kids that are going to have to suffer for this shit. People on social media, there's not even room for discussion. It's no, unless you stand with this, I'm not even fucking having a conversation with you. Um, how dare a homeowner in a private community go outside with a gun when a mob that just broke down the fucking fence and they're invading their community? How dare a homeowner stand outside with a gun? Like, because people watch TV and they're able to see the kind of shit that's happening in other cities. And if people don't take control, then that's going to happen to their livelihood. Not everybody is fucking bad. We have protests here in my town. You got Black Lives Matter on one side, and then you have, they call them counter protests, but I'm from a small town. What we call it is the town. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these protesters coming in ain't from the town. You know what I mean? So it's the town. I can't stand on either side, though. I can't stand on the Black Lives Matter side. Because even though I agree that Black Lives Matter, I know who's funding it. I know how it started. I know about their racist comments towards Jewish people. I know that it's a forced compliance-based movement. I'm not going to go stand over there for that shit. I can't. Even though I agree with a huge amount of what most of the people there are for. I'm not going to stand with a bunch of fucking white people who pretend like they give a fuck. And I can't stand on the other side either. Because you'll stand on the other side and then somebody will show up with a fucking Confederate flag. So, I'm not going to stand there either. It's crazy. My daughter was telling me that she was like, there's something about a soccer player, a girl, who refused to, I forgot what it was. I don't even know. I didn't read the story. Something about not kneeling down or sitting down or turning the back, whatever, on the national anthem, because to her that means something. So in her solidarity, she put her head down and put her hand on her partner's shoulder, and that was her standing with them without disrespecting her flag that she believes in. And she's getting slaughtered for it. I'll post things on Twitter and people are like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? You're going to mess up your business or alienate yourself or whatever. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I can't tell you, I'll type something and it'll make total sense and nobody will click on it, like it, do anything. Yet I'll have 40 people DM me on the side and be like, hey, I completely agree. You're a pussy. I understand you're scared. I understand you're scared to let your thoughts and feelings be known. You don't deserve freedom. You don't deserve it. If you're too scared to speak your piece and to say what you feel, no one knows, man. By the way, I ain't no Trumper. I believe that Trump's still a Democrat, and this is all a huge plan. There's a whole lot of people out there, bro, who aren't racist, who wants what's best for everybody. Man, it's sad what's happening right now. People can't even have discussions. I learned in like kindergarten and first grade that you can't do the it's my way or the highway, and to be able to talk things out, try to figure things out with people. But now you have people advocating violence to stop violence. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? I don't get it. Here's the deal, though. Because we can't fucking adult, all of our kids are going to suffer for it. Crazy, man. What you guys got to realize is that the news is I mean, obviously the news is ran by people. You know what I mean? They're part of this bigger conglomerate, and they're leading your minds and your hearts to slaughter. You know, I've seen news stories where people will fucking be standing right in front of a burning building in the back and be like, "Well, yeah, the protesters seem to be mostly peaceful." And it's like, dude, she's burning behind you. You know what I mean? In Utah, a lady was trying to drive home, and they tried to surround her SUV, and she tried to slowly inch through, and a motherfucker, peaceful protester, pulled out a gun and shot her. And then she still didn't ram through everybody. She went forward a little bit, went forward. You got your police officers that are getting Molotovs. Their cars are getting Molotovs. They're getting hit with fucking bricks. People are taking over whole areas for what? And everybody's just sitting back like, oh, this is just fine. You know? Fucking insane. I don't know, man. Probably just my thoughts, you know? Probably a bunch of rambling. You know, I'm not even going to go back and watch it before I post it, because if I do, I'll probably be like, oh, man, that's too much rambling, delete. These are just my thoughts, man. Love everybody. You know, something I think people have a hard time doing these days is you know, looking at something through somebody else's eyes, or, you know, wearing another pair of shoes when they're speaking or making a decision. I'm from Southeast Portland, man. I grew up with you know, all Asians, white people, black people, Mexican people. I've seen some shit, you know what I mean? When we got caught shooting, I'm with a couple Asians, and it's me and another white dude, and they pull us over in a felony stop, and they throw my brother, who's half Vietnamese, down on the ground and dirty up all his Nautica polo, and then let me go sit on a curb. And I was the one with the gun. Like, I get it. Like, things are I get it. I'm not naive. I understand. But man, what the fuck's happening right now ain't how you're gonna fix it. Forced compliance. People saying, if you don't agree with this 100%, you ain't shit. And people are things they say and their ideas, or people are getting fired. They're going beyond that. They're going into people's families and getting families fired and parents fired and everything else. And it's like, what the fuck is really going on? And everybody with a voice, you're just standing there letting it fucking happen. You know, I'll tell you what, by having logical conversation, I was fully against the defund the police, but having a logical conversation with a friend of mine who knew how to talk to me properly was like, explained about, you know, some things, maybe we take some of that money and instead we add more training and caseworkers, and certain groups of police will go to certain calls and certain stuff. And I'm like, that makes sense. I get it. That happens through conversation. That doesn't happen through two people going like this and not talking. But it sure seems like there's a whole side that's like, fuck you, it's what I want or nothing. And I don't get it, man. You know what? I don't even watch news. You know where I get my news from? I'm a conservative. I ain't no Republican, but I'm a conservative. Where I get my views from is from, I watch liberals. I watch Tim Pool. I watch Joe Rogan type shit. You know what I mean? I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch fucking CNN and all this bullshit. I get my stuff from talking to people, having conversations with people as well. Be careful what you let in your head, you guys. I don't want to sound like a fucking weirdo, but you know, they got MK Ultra. Man, they've been working at controlling people's minds for a long time, and they're very good at it. They do it through movies, they do it through music, they do it through the news. And you got to be careful what you let in your head. Shit'll get in your subconscious. Next thing you know, you're not you. Don't be afraid to speak your piece. It's important. All right, this is long. I'm done. I love y'all. Y'all hang in there, man.